Hey, what's up, gang? Welcome back to another Art at Home. Today we're going to be moving on to something that's a lot of fun. I personally think it's a lot of fun because this is my kind of art project. But we're going to get into animation. So I told you guys last week Friday, when we did our final figure drawing and animal drawing, that we're going to be using those skills to help us with this week's lessons. And this week's lessons is going to be in animation, and we are going to start off very simple. And basically what animation is, it's taking pictures and sequentially moving them so it looks like a drawing is coming to life and is actually moving. So for today's exercise, we are going to need some tools. We're going to need scissors. We're going to need, you can grab a can of soup, but anything that has a round shape to it, round flat shape. You guys can use a Pringles container, a soda can, or anything that has this round top here, this round flat top. I use this chicken broth can because it's a nice wide circle. We don't want it to be too small, like say the diameter of this circle here, because it's too small. It's not going to work. So something like this, like a soup can. We're going to need pencil. We're going to need Sharpies, or at least some kind of a pen. Felt tip marker. That's black. Black is better because you're gonna find out why in just a moment. So pencil, pens. We're gonna need glue, and we're gonna need tape. Where did my glue go? We're gonna need so we'll need glue. Let's see. A ruler if you have it, but I seem to have misplaced my ruler. I don't know where I put it. It got lost in the shuffle when I that's why, kids, one important thing is clean up your mess, clean up your area when you're done with your projects. Don't leave it all thrown about, because it will get lost. You will lose your supplies and possibly get them thrown away because somebody wants to use the area when you're done, and it'll just disappear. But anyway, if you have a ruler, you can use a ruler, but it's not necessary. I'll show you guys how to use or how to just eyeball something out. But anyway, yeah, so these are the things we're gonna need. Something round, scissors, glue, pencil, markers, black, and then tape. You guys can also use colored pens if you want to. I'll go ahead and use these pens today, but it's not necessary. So let's see, the tools on the way. So for the materials we're gonna need a piece of cardboard. We're gonna need a piece of paper. We're gonna need yarn and or a straw. Okay, so if you guys have yarn, great. If you guys don't, you can use a straw. So, or if you have both, you can try out both different types. Okay, so let me explain what we're gonna do today. We are gonna create an animation toy that existed from back in the 1800s. Okay, and it's called the Thaumatrope. And basically, our Thaumatrope is a very, very simple animation of only 2 frames or 2 pictures. All right. So let's start off by, let's come up with an idea. What kind of thing can we have with movement that only has 2 frames? Well, apparently I can't animate a person walking. I can't animate, really can't animate too much. I could probably animate like a bird, maybe flying. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you guys a popular picture, or a popular thaumatrope that was used all the way back hundreds of years ago, with a basic picture of a bird and a bird cage. Okay, and then I'll show you guys what we're gonna do. But anyway, start off by taking your cardboard piece and taking your can of soup or whatever. Use your pencil and draw. I'll put it in the middle so you guys can see. Okay, so go ahead and draw a line going around your circle using your pencil. Okay, that's very messy, so let's try that again. Much better. And I'm going to do two different versions. So I'm going to show you guys how to use the yarn, and I'm going to show you guys how you can use your straw. Okay, it's two different versions. So I'm going to go ahead and put another. So if you guys are doing two, you can copy me. If you're only doing one, then just make one circle and you're good to go. Okay, so the can of soup is done. Move that off to the side. Pencil we still need, so we keep that close. Take your scissors next. And we are going to go ahead and cut out our circles, making sure that your hand that's holding the paper is the only hand that's moving. Your scissor hands are staying straight, and you're cutting away from your body to avoid cutting yourself, your clothes, or anybody else near you. Okay, so there we have our first circle. And then I'll cut this one out really quick so that you can see what we're doing. You might need a parent to help you cut the cardboard because the cardboard is pretty stiff. And if you don't have a really strong pair of scissors, then it's going to be kind of hard. Alright, so putting my scissors off to the side, we'll need that again. We have two discs. You should have one if you're making one, two if you're doing like me and making two. Okay. Now we're going to take our piece of paper, placing our medallions onto the piece of paper and our pencil. We're going to trace around our medallions that we just made, flipping it over. You want the circles to be as close to the size of your cardboard as possible. Alright, so that we have our medallions on our paper. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my design on my paper, and I'm going to try my best to keep my design in the center. So like I said, I was going to do a bird in a birdcage, which is typical of Thaumatropes back in the 1800s. Okay, so the first thing I do is I draw a picture of a bird. Okay, so there's my bird. And what I want to do is when I draw my bird cage, I want to make sure that my bird cage can go around the bird. So I'm going to make sure that it goes up and over the bird. Right in the center, where the butt is hanging, I'm just going to go ahead and put a bar so that the bird can sit on something. And then I'm going to draw these lines, curved, connecting the cage together. And then I'm going to draw these lines coming down from the top center, and it comes curved and it comes all the way down to the bottom of the cage. And these are the bars that cross over you. And we have a couple bars over here. Alright, so that's good enough. I mean, we have... I'm going to put the ringlet on the top where the bird cage is held by... So I have my bird. And I have my cage. Alright, so these two guys. And that's it. Once you're done drawing your picture, you come back to your markers and we go ahead and trace over our lines. Now, the reason why we're tracing over the lines is because if we were just to use pencil, you wouldn't be able to see the animation very well. I'll show you why, but that's ultimately the reason why you want to use a marker, especially a black marker. It's so that we can actually see the animation. So there's my thick pen. Come over to my thinner pen and do the details of my bird. And then I also do the details of my cage, the bars on my cage. And I gotta get to the stand, the bird stand, where it holds on with its feet. Details of the bottom of the cage. The ring on the top. The bar that's holding all the other ones together. There we go. So we have a cage and a bird. They're nicely outlined. Oh, shoot. One more tool we're going to need is our eraser to get rid of the pencil marks from our pictures. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and erase those pencil marks that I used to create my cage and my bird. Sorry, my bad. You should know, whenever you have a pencil, whenever I say use a pencil, we're probably going to need a eraser so that we can correct our mistakes. Unless, of course, we're doing a test, yeah? Alright, so basically that's it. Alright, so on this one, let's see. You know what? On this one, the one on the bottom here, I'm going to draw a bee. So right in the center, I'm going to put a circle on both of them. And I'm going to draw a triangle, or a egg shape for the head. And then I'm going to give it eyes. And I'm trying to keep them as similar as I possibly can on both of these pictures here. So this is just the body. And then the body's going to be very furry. So the furry. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw one of the legs hanging down. Try and match it up as close as I can here. It doesn't. You don't have to draw what I'm drawing, but I'm just trying to come up with ideas that would be interesting. Yeah? So I have two of the legs hanging down. That's the front legs. And then the rest of the legs are going to be behind it. So basically we're seeing the front view of a bee. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate it to make it look like it's flying. We'll see if it's successful or not. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So I'm going to put one of the wings coming down to the side of the bee, And then on this one, I'm going to put the wings flapping up. So when this is animated, you'll see the wing going up and down like that. But not just that. I am also going to put the wings extended. Let's see if all the way up will work. All the way up. And then on this one, I'll make the wings stick out like this. So I'm gonna try and cheat a little bit. I'm gonna create an illusion that the bee is flapping more than it really is. Alright, so now I'm going to take my pen. I'm going to just use the fine pen because this one has more detail. Okay, so let's see. Starting with the head, do the eyes. Do the head. Then the body is fuzzy, so I'm going to put the fur, the little fuzzy body, coming around. Copying the same type of fuzz, going around to the other side. And the legs are sticking out. Move this one over slightly. This one is a good spot. Then I'm going to go ahead and put an antenna sticking up out of the head. Okay, that looks about the same. Very similar. Not exactly, but it's very similar. Okay. Let's see, now the wings. So I'm actually going to have the wings on the bottom here and the wings on the top here. I'm going to have those pretty prominent. The start and the end, you know how the wings open and close. And then the in-between wings, I'm just going to kind of just give like an outline, a dotted outline, or a ghosting of wings. Like you cannot really see them that great. Take my eraser, erasing the lines off the bee. We'll see how this one works. Okay, so just come up with an idea of something with two frames. This is the basic one from back in the 1800s, and this one is something that's more animated. Okay, so this one is one that we're going to be a little bit more interested in. But once you get to this point, you can go ahead and color in your work. So B is black and yellow. So I'm just going to color in my B. A little bit. Using my marker, I'm going to fill in those legs because they should be black. The head should also be black. So we'll go ahead and use hatching to color in the head. Okay, and then we'll be able to see the lines and the wings, all the design. The other wings, not so much, just hints of lines inside the wings. Okay, use the second color. Just like that. Go ahead and outline the wings a little bit. Just slightly. And then finish off the eyes. Just like that. Okay, so here's our animation right here. The wings are going to be fluttering, okay? But then this one is just going to be an optical illusion. But once you're done with your picture, take your scissors again. And what I like to do is when I have multiple pictures on one paper, I like to separate them. And that just makes it easier for me to cut when it's separated. Okay, so let me go ahead and cut these really quick, and we'll start the process of making our Thaumatrope. Alright, so now that we're done cutting out our pictures, we are going to place, or glue I should say, our pictures onto our medallion, our cardboard medallion here. One picture is going to go on the front of the medallion, and the other picture is going to go on the back. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Just like that. Okay. So now we're ready for the gluing. So take your glue. Make sure the top is clean. This bottle over here that I have, it always has a thin layer of glue that dries up after each use. Probably because I don't clean it well. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glue to the cardboard. Oops. Try to keep it on top of the cardboard and not on top of your desk. And then I'm just going to go ahead and rub so it's nice and even. The glue out to the edges, just like that. Hopefully you guys have a box of tissues or something laying around so that you can clean off your hands in case you get too sticky. And then we're going to go ahead and take our picture here and lay it nicely on top of the cardboard. Just like that. I get glue on the bottom. Okay. Now here's the tricky part. The tricky part is trying to get the glue, or trying to get the object to glue to make sure that it is lined up. See, so the last thing you want to do is when you glue it, is you think, oh, okay, I'm just going to glue it and I'm done. But in actuality, what you want is you want to make sure that when you flip it, the picture is lined up the same way. So there's two different ways to try it. Alright, there's a straw and then there's the yarn. I'm going to show you guys how to correctly glue down the straw version first. And so this is going to be my yarn version. Okay, so we're putting the yarn version. If you have yarn and no straw, you can go ahead and move past this part so you can figure out how to do the yarn part. But I'm going to do the straw part first. So if you have the straw, stay here with me right now. Okay. All right. So the glue on my bee is starting to dry. It's not dry yet, but ultimately what you want to do is you want to glue the picture to the back. Now you want to make sure that the picture, when you flip it, that the bee, at least the head or the body, is in the same spot when you flip it. So last thing you want is the bee to be lying sideways on one side of the picture, and when you flip it over, it's laying up and down. Okay, you want them to both to be sitting in the same direction. This is very important for the straw version, in the same direction. So when you fix your bee onto the back of the cardboard, make sure that it is up just like the other side. That's exactly what you want. Okay, so when you flip it, it's the same. Alright, so let's see. My bee is slightly turned. Okay, this is good. So this is a good place to have my bee. Now it's very, very important that you glue it on and make sure that it matches up. So what you can do is keep your finger on top of your work, or if you have a piece of tape, you can tape him down. Let's do that. Let's take a little piece of tape. Okay, and once we find the spot that the bee should be in, we're just going to go ahead and take the tape and just tack it over the top. Okay, so now it's stuck to each other, but I can still lift it. See that? So the tape is helping me to tack the paper so that when I flip it down, it's in the right spot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue again, and I'm going to put some glue on top of the cardboard once more, and then I'm going to go ahead and rub it in. I put a little bit too much glue last time, so I'm going to put a little bit less this time. But just try your best to smear it out. Take your bee or your picture and then flap it over. Using a napkin, you can wipe your fingers. And then press so that the picture stays. Alright, so the bees should be both facing the same direction. Now what I can do is take my piece of tape off. We don't need the tape there. I mean, you could leave it, but I don't want it there. Oh, this is a really thin tape. Well, you know what, it ain't hurting anybody. We'll just leave it. Okay, so now, coming to the straw. If you have a paper around your straw, you can pull it off now. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to take our scissors and we are going to cut inside the straw a little slit. Okay, so I did 2 cuts side by side on the straw, and as you can see, I am able to pull out a 1mm size strip and snip that off. Try to make it as straight as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the idea is to make a hole inside your straw so that we can take the cardboard and wedge it inside that hole. Okay? Sorry, let me just put that back in focus. Alright, so don't just cut out one strip. You have to cut out 2, and they have to be directly across from each other. And you want them to be approximately the same length. Okay, so there's another strip that I cut. Cut that off. Okay. So now I've got this double thing going on. And I can take my medallion and I can slide it inside just like that. See? And because it's clear, you can still see the picture behind it. But I'm not done yet. I want to get this thing to stay. So I'm going to take a piece of tape and I am going to place the tape over my straw and press firm. Then I'm going to flip it over, take another piece of tape, pressing down on my straw firmly, add that there. Okay, so now we have our Thaumatrope. Okay, now to make this Thaumatrope work, you have to put it between your hands and you have to spin it like this, like that. What happens is, if I can catch that on the film, is it's going to start looking like the bee is flapping its wings. And how this works is, right there we go. See that? And then the faster you go, the more it looks like he's flapping his wings. Oop, I lost it. So what happens is, the two pictures being separated on both sides of the medallion here represent two different times. One where the wings are open and one where the wings are starting to close. The line in the middle helps to break up the images. So when you flip it from one side to the other, this small gap where this this is a very important part of the Thaumatrope here, this ridge here, because what happens is if you went from picture to picture really quick, it would just look blurry. But because of this small break here, it causes your eyes to like do a blink, and it ends up making it look like the bee is flapping its wings rather than just being a blurry mess. So it's very important to have that small edge there to help break up the look of the wings, so that we actually have a nice animation there. Okay, so that's the straw version. That's how you make the straw Thaumatrope. Now I'm going to show you guys how to make the yarn one if this is all you have. Alright, so the same as before, you're going to take your medallion, you're going to take one of your pictures. This one is different. This one's much different, so pay attention. Okay, I hope you guys didn't use your didn't do this one for the string, because it's going to mess it up. Alright, so putting glue on top of your medallion, your cardboard cutout, and rubbing that in. And then taking your picture, placing it over just like we did with the bee. Make sure it's nice and flat. Now this is where it differs, okay? So instead of putting the bird directly up and down like we have the cage, we have to do it this way. We have to flip it and put the bird upside down, like on a quarter. The way the face is one way, and then when you turn it over, it's upside down. The building is upside down in the back. Okay, this is what we want to do. Right? So that's the difference between the straw and the yarn Thaumatrope. So go ahead and glue it, not the same way, but when you flip it over vertically, you want to be able to see that picture upside down. So when it flips like this, it's right side up, but when you flip it side to side, it's not right side up, it's upside down. So the cage is upside down, the bird is right side up. Or if you turn the bird upside down, the bird should be upside down and the cage should be right side up. Okay, so that's how you want to make it work. And once again, using a piece of tape, you can tape your picture at the top to make sure that it doesn't move when you're trying to glue it. So I just put a little tape right on the top, fold it over to, let me just double check. Oh, it's still a little off. Well, that's a good thing I checked. Okay. Alright, that's better. So now that I have it straightened, use the tape. Now it's stuck. And it's stuck for good. Flip it open, grab your glue, put some glue on top of your medallion. Use your finger to make it nice and smooth. You guys are probably wondering, why are you wiping it? Like, what is the point of wiping the glue? For one thing, you get even coverage. So it guarantees that your entire picture has glue and it's secured to your backing. But another reason is because glue is lumpy, and when you put your paper down on it, it can create a texture behind your picture. And I don't like to see that texture. Or just in case you want to color afterwards, and if you have those bumps in it and you start coloring, then it messes it all up. Okay. So now we have, when we flip it, we have an upside down bird cage, or we have an upside down bird. When you flip it, the bird cage is right side up. Okay. So that's the difference between the yarn Thaumatrope and the straw one. The straw one, you put the pictures the same direction, and then the yarn one, we are putting it upside down, so that when you flip it vertically, the picture is right side up. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn, and we're going to do about a foot of yarn 2 times. And so the reason why I say you don't necessarily need a ruler is because you can measure it using your arm. This bone right here, these 2 bones that are coming down. So what I usually do is I hold the yarn in one hand, right on the edge, right on the tip, and then I stretch it all the way down to the crease in my arm, and then I cut. Okay, so this measurement is close to a foot, slightly longer than a foot, but like I said, not that big a deal if it's not perfect. Okay, and then I cut 2, just like that. Alright, so now what you want to do is on the ends where they are open, we're just going to tie a knot. Just like a balloon, like a water balloon. You take the 2 tips here, and then you wrap it around your finger, make sure it goes all the way around, and pinch it. Okay, and then you pull the string off your fingers like that, and you're going to notice that there's a loop here. So what you're going to do is take these 2 little ends, and you're going to fold them so that they go inside the loop, and you're going to pull them through. So make sure both go through that loop. See that? So the string goes through the loop, then you pull it tight, pull the knot closer to the edge of the string, and then tighten by yanking both sides so it's nice and strong. And then if you want, you can take it and nip off with your scissors the tip of the string, and there you have 1 loop. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing with the other side, and you're going to tie up the end by putting a loop around your finger, sliding your finger off, sticking the 2 ends into the loop, and pulling the knot. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and tight. Take your scissors, nip off that excess. Alright, now you're probably wondering, how do I get the string in? Well, that's where the hole puncher comes in. Did I say we needed a hole puncher earlier? I can't even remember. We need a hole puncher. If you don't have a hole puncher, not a big deal. You can ask your parents if they can use a pencil to poke a hole through the sides, but you want to put the hole on either side of the bird cage or whatever drawing you have, and you want to make sure that it's perfect. Okay, so using my pencil and using a straight edge, going across the middle of my picture, I'm just going to put a little mark on both sides so that I know this is where I want to put the hole punch. Okay, so using my hole puncher, I'm going to slide this in, and I'm going to just snap, and there you see there's a hole. Come to the other side, slide that piece in there, and snap, and there's a hole right there. Okay, so now that we have holes inside our medallion here, we're going to stick the knot inside the hole. So you see the way the knot comes out? Okay, but I'm not going to pull it all the way through. So holding the loop on the other side with my fingers, I'm going to grab the knot with my two fingers. See the knot here? I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull it through. And so now my paper's stuck to the yarn. And this is a good way to do it because you can actually remove the string if it gets worn or gross or whatever. You can remove the string and put a new one on. Okay, so once again, let me show you. You put your yarn, the knot, through the hole. Easy peasy. Pull it out with your fingers. Take your other fingers and open up the loop and grab the knot and pull it through the loop, and that will get it stuck. Okay, alright, and that's it. We're done. So from here you can twist your thaumatrope, and it's supposed to give the illusion that the bird is going into the birdcage. See that? So I just usually wiggle it around like this, and then ta-da! We have bird in the birdcage. So you can ask the question, how do you get this bird to end up in this birdcage? And then the answer is wiggle it around, spin, 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 and whee, there it is, birds in the birdcage. And that's the illusion of the animation that's giving, it's making it look like the bird and the bird cage are on the same side of the paper. So it's animating the bird into the cage. And that is how we make a thaumatrope. Okay, so anyway, that's today's animation lesson. Tomorrow we will be continuing with another form of animation, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.